Wednesday, the 24th of October 2018, approximately 9 p.m. East African time. A very good evening to you and thank you for keeping us company. It is always a delight. I am Ndiro Ganga, ready to bring you up to speed with all the news-making headlines, across the globe. And as you know, we are all about business. Here is a glance of all the news-making headlines in the business world.
Before us, we have our sons and daughters who without doubt are full of hope.
M-Pesa Foundation Academy official launch, Painting Education Green. OWIT Workshop, Turning Women-Owned Businesses Global. Day 2 Connected Summit 2018, ICT, the ribbon that ties it all together. Today, Safaricom, the leading telcos in the country, officially launched the M-Pesa Foundation Academy in Thika, Kiambu County. The academy, started in 2015, has now admitted students from all the 47 counties across the country. Our reporter Karari John was in Thika today and fills us in on the day's happening. Take a look.
The development of a nation hugely relies on the human capital. For any nation to realize its full potential, its people must be empowered with relevant skills. 3 years after its inception, M-Pesa Foundation Academy by telco giant Safaricom was officially launched today. The chairman of M-Pesa Foundation, Michael Joseph, being the host, explained to the guests how the academy came to be.
We really wanted to do something big that could change the lives of Kenyans in a big way, not just for today, but for the future. So we thought, what is it that's holding Kenya up from being the great country that it deserves to be, and how can we help? In our collective minds, it was leadership based on integrity, strong values, and a real desire to serve. At the time of Kenya's independence, which probably some of you were here at the time, we sent many of our current Kenyan leaders to the USA to further their education. President Kennedy said, and I'm paraphrasing, "Education is in truth the only key to genuine independence and progress," and I believe that statement still holds today. So we thought, let's start with the youth. Let's prepare them for the future. Let's prepare them to be the future leaders of this great country. Hence this fantastic academy.
The Cabinet Secretary Education, Ambassador Amina Mohamed, went on to point out that the academy's curriculum is in line with the Kenyan education policy.
Your Excellency, I've walked the hallways of this institution. I have interacted with students, with management, and with the teaching faculty. I can confirm to Your Excellency that the curriculum and pedagogy offered by the Academy is aligned with the country's education policy and provides an avenue for innovative and lifelong learning.
The guest of honor, His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, started off by thanking M-Pesa Foundation for giving hope to the young people through the academy.
I also wish to take this opportunity to thank Safaricom, and in particular the M-Pesa Foundation, for giving hope and a future to thousands of young Kenyans, not just those in front of us. They are in many ways inspiring us to believe that our past must never determine our future. At this academy, by bringing together students from all corners of our country, they are building the cohesive and inclusive Kenya we all want. By their various other initiatives, they are not only educating young people, but are also touching lives in the communities from which these students come from. It is indeed a very commendable program.
The president alluded to the Big Four agenda and pointed out that a skilled human capital is at the center of the agenda.
The government has identified 4 key pillars, which we call the Big Four. Pillars that will drive growth in agriculture, health, housing, manufacturing. And each pillar itself relies on skilled, motivated Kenyans, all of whom share a common vision for our country. And it is therefore important that we provide quality education to our young people. And my government will continue to support all institutions and organizations within the education sector to promote excellence and credibility.
He then went ahead to challenge the students to be citizens of integrity as they build their future.
Not all of us will be brilliant academically, but we all have a talent that God has given us. All we need is to ensure that we do our very best, that we become people of integrity. As I keep saying, it doesn't make a difference what grade you get. There will be those who will go to university, but that does not necessarily mean that if you don't go to university, you're a failure. You're not a failure. You have the opportunity to become a great engineer out of a technical school. You have the ability to become the best farmer. You have the ability to become the best carpenter. And all these are vocations. God, you're the best artist, the best musician. Do your best and be people of integrity. The rest will sort itself out.
When he was asked by one of the students on what he aspires to achieve by the end of his term in 2022, he had this to say.
I hope many things, but 2 things in particular. One, that I will have left a united, cohesive society. And 2, that we shall have won the war on corruption.
Thank you, Excellency.
As the president left the venue, it was clear that quality of education is an integral element in the attainment of the short and long-term developmental plans of Kenya. Sitting on a 50-acre piece of land from the outskirts of Thika town lies the M-Pesa Foundation Academy, which promotes learning and nurtures innovation and talent. Now, it is rightfully to say that the youth are the leaders of today, where they say here in M-Pesa Foundation Academy, thinkers, doers and leaders. Reporting for Bramplast TV, I am Karari John Wambugu.
Since the passage of the Equal Opportunity and Affirmative Action legislation, women have made significant socio-economic strides. However, there is still a lot more that needs to be done. It is for this reason that the Organization of Women in International Trade OWIT 18th Annual Conference kicked off today with a workshop to equip women with global trade skills. Elsa Atieno has more details.
She's providing, she's delivering, I know.
As businesses scale, international trade becomes a possibility, and any capacity building towards this end is a welcome move. According to Jennifer Diaz, President Organization of Women in International Trade, this is what the workshop held as a run-up to conference intended to achieve.
It's a whole day of how-to sessions, how to pitch your product, how to go global, how to use UPS services, for example, to go global, how to get on e-commerce platforms, how to think about gender and inclusive trade and what you can utilize, for example, for AGOA, how to use a free trade agreement to trade with other countries, for example, like the US, and benefit from trade agreements that already exist. So one of our next panels is going to be on free trade agreements. We're going to talk about your actual network, and that's the beauty of OWIT. Is anyone that's a part of OWIT gets an automatic built-in network. We have amazing women in every aspect of international business and international trade. So that's something we'll be talking about, as well as how to build strategic alliances. And what networks do you belong to? What we've seen is that there are a few issues that are taking place to prevent women from going global and taking that next step. Our goal today is to explore them all and to come up with practical solutions for women to get access to capital, access to information, access to resources, access to any tools that you need in order to take your business to the next level.
15 minutes, do it.
On the issue of women empowerment, Jennifer noted that it takes teamwork to make things happen and attain real change, as such invited men to join hands towards this end.
Just about women, but our goal and our mission and our vision is to advance women in international business. Women cannot do this alone. We need men. So our question is always, are you a man that supports the advancement of women in international business? And what's the answer? I would hope you'd say yes, right? Okay, yes, then you are a man for us. It takes teamwork to make things happen and to make real change occur. So we realize and very much respect and bring men to the table. We want everyone to join to the table, but our goals and our initiatives within OWIT are to advance women in international business. So all the entrepreneurs here today have the chance to go global, have the chance to take their products and make them export ready, have the chance to explore new markets, and that's our goal of our workshop today.
Definitely use different methodologies.
With the theme of the conference being Bridge the Gap, Empowering Business to Go Global, Mucha Mlingo, President OWIT, Nairobi chapter, noted some of the challenges that women face when it comes to engaging in international trade.
As an organization, we've identified a number of constraints, things that hinder women from accessing international markets. One of them is access to finance. Another one is access to market and trade information and opportunities. And the third one is lack of capacity.
We would like to award the individual.
She went on to note that the conference, which kicks off tomorrow, will provide the much-needed insights to women entrepreneurs on how to overcome these challenges.
The conference tomorrow at the Intercontinental Hotel, hosted by OWIT Nairobi in conjunction with OWIT International, seeks to answer or give solutions to those constraints so that women are able to take up their place and trade across borders. As an organization, we are all about promoting the advancement of international trade for women. And so the conference is really geared towards that. How can you make sure that you get access to international markets? And so we look forward to having women entrepreneurs from all different sectors join us tomorrow so that we can interact and have those discussions.
So I think this is actually to all.
As the country seeks to grow into middle-income economy, trade and more so cross-border trade becomes a key pillar towards the attainment of this goal. As women take up their position, an attainment of this goal can only get closer. Elsa Atieno, Brand Plus TV Business News.
News is that we have a networking break coming up.
Welcome back to the most comprehensive, exclusively business news bulletin this side of the Sahara. And now let's turn our focus on tomorrow's the Big Four agenda. The Big Four agenda is the key development pillar that the Jubilee administration has set out to achieve by 2022. To this end, all ministries in the government are out to support the agenda and hopes it comes to fruition. Today, on the second day of the Connected Kenya Summit 2018, a plenary session was held to discuss the role of ICT and how it can play to ensure that the targets are met on time, efficiently and effectively. Take a look. Permanent Secretary ICT Jerome Ochieng, while addressing the session, emphasized that it is high time the ministry looks into institutionalizing the Big Four agenda and looking beyond His Excellency President Kenyatta's term. This, he said, will build capacity for the agenda in the future while creating jobs.
I would want us to go beyond that and actually say, fine, we are talking about the Big Four agenda. I would want us to focus on institutionalizing these successes, that we don't only look at the 4 or 5 years that are ahead of us, we look at beyond the 5 years of the president's term, that the Big Four agenda will be institutionalized within government, and that in the coming years again, we are able to continue with the projects and the programs that we are talking about. So again, that is also embedded on both the policy environment and also on the legal environment, so that it becomes institutionalized within government, it becomes institutionalized within our country, that these are the things we'll be doing moving forward to ensure that we are able to provide the requisite environment to do the Big Four.
Food security being one of the pillars of the Big Four agenda equally depends on IT.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's appreciate him as well.
Chris Senanu, Managing Director Telcom Limited, said for food security to be achieved, the ICT Ministry must provide farmers with data to guide them through the agricultural seasons.
I believe ICT plays starting from analyzing the soil to understand what it's good for and what type of nutrients it needs. It moves on to then advising, using that data set to advise a farmer in terms of the seasonal, what to plant and what to use to protect. More importantly, giving the farmer information as to what's the best price they can get for their produce, whether to sell direct to the end user and or to sell through a wholesaler, and then the logistics to get those farming produces to the right place.
Senanu further added that for a long time, middlemen in the agricultural sector have ripped farmers off their hard-earned profit. With ICT, however, farmers will be able to make the most out of their produce.
There's always been a challenge in farmers getting good pricing. And this is because you have middle people who will buy from the gate of the farm, and obviously they are the ones who make the most of the margin. So if you are able to, when we are able to provide a marketplace where farmers can actually sell direct, be it online or through some kind of commodity exchange, then you end up with a farmer being able to get more for their produce. So that's the farmer's dilemma. Can I get my right implements? Can I get my right seedlings? Can I get a good price? On the end of the end user, we also want quality. And so the issue is that where can I get this produce from?
Another pillar in the Big Four agenda is affordable housing, where the government intends to roll out at least 500,000 units by 2022.
We're certainly embracing fully IT.
Tuleleneye, IT advisor to the Principal Secretary Housing, said that ICT will play an integral role in building smart and functional homes for Kenyans.
One of our design principles is that all the homes that we're going to be designed by, whether it's private sector or public partners such as the National Housing Corporation, they need to be fiber ready. That's not just making sure that in your house we've created the trunking. It is also ensuring that we have enabled, in partnership with ICT, with the Ministry of ICT as well as yourselves as ICT Authority, is to encourage all the service providers to be terminating their services as near as possible to our estates, especially those that were previously not covered. And for us, it is not just about allowing access to internet for the homes. It's also about encouraging Internet of Things, connected homes. We want to be able to ensure that we can assess how people use their electricity, for example, as well as water. So that requires some level of connectivity.
The ICT Ministry clearly plays a big role in the realization of the development agenda of any nation. Question is, 4 years down the line, will these progressive ideas have helped the Big Four agenda manifest into a reality for Kenyans? Coca-Cola Beverage Africa today conducted a media tour of the Nairobi Bottlers plant and also took time to outline its growth strategy in the midst of a difficult economic environment. Our reporter was at the tour and filed the following report. Take a look.
While speaking to the managing director, Coca-Cola Subco, Daryl Wilson, he stated that the company has come up with steps that will enable the caution of the company and see it sail through the tough economic times in the country.
So we're going to continue to innovate. We believe it's a very important part of our growth strategy. So we will continue. We launched around 50 new products this year. We're probably going to launch another 40 products next year. We're also going to go into new categories like hot coffee and then pricing. Pricing is very key. We really understand that our consumers are very price sensitive and we need to provide the right type of pricing for their needs and for the various consumer bases. So we're looking at cheaper products, newer products at the bottom end, maybe smaller packaging that allows us to price at a very low rate to capture the bottom end of the consumers that are very price sensitive. So it's a broad range. We've got pricing across the category. We've got a growth strategy centered around innovation and entering into new categories.
He continued to add that the company is yet to feel the effect of the value-added tax that was implemented by the government 2 months ago.
So no, it hasn't really impacted us at the moment. We're still trying to see what's going to get passed on from our various suppliers. You know, it's an input VAT, so most people will claim it back from a manufacturing perspective. We've got a pricing strategy, as I said in the room over there. We've got a very clear pricing strategy with very clear price points that we will take over the next 5 years. We've just done our business plan now. We haven't changed anything in our business plan, either because of inflation. We've got a very good understanding of where we think inflation is going to go. So our pricing already takes into consideration inflationary pressure.
The head of the beverage giant didn't fail to acknowledge the fact that their products are doing well in the market with minimal challenges to product reception.
When you go to a cooler or you go to even a kiosk, you'll find the range of products. If I want the water, it's there. I might not like Coke, or I love Coke and I don't want water, it's available, and that's our message. We've had no issues with regards to consumer understanding or consumer needs that we haven't met.
With Coca-Cola being a household name and the business having a far-reaching impact in the country, such as offering employment to 3,000 individuals and impacting 8,000 more households, a positive outlook from them is a good reason as any to be wishful of good economic times ahead. For Brand Plus TV Business News, I am Daisy Wambua.
Let us now take a look at how the markets performed today, and here is a summary. Just a summary of how the markets performed, but for more in-depth analysis of the same, tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for my next Big Bet with Rachel Lerito and Karanji Daniel. Now let's take a look at the day's weather reports. That was it from our business news desk tonight, but do make sure to tune in at 9 p.m. tomorrow for a fresh serving of news that is making headline in the business world. Have a good night.